A wonderful good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, depending on what time you are watching this video. As always, my name is Peter Wedam, and I am a lead presenter at Wedambu TV. Now, on Tuesday, 4th June 2024, Wedambu TV set out on a mission from its base in Navrongo to Wiaga in the Bulisa North Municipality of the Upper East Region. Our mission had a one-item agenda, and that agenda was to talk to this man, Mr. Thomas Awiapo. So at approximately 6:38 a.m., we set off from Navrongo and we arrived in Wiaga at about 7:20 a.m. It took us about 5 minutes from the Wiaga township to their destination at the St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School to be ushered and received by Mr. Thomas Awiapo. Now, Mr. Thomas Awiapo is changing the narrative in rural education in the Bulisa North Municipality of the Upper East Region. He has opened a school that runs under his management, and of course a staff strength of about 15 that has been running several grades, including crèche, kindergarten, primary 1 to 6, and from junior high school 1 to junior high school 2. There is JHS 1 to JHS 2 with plans to increase this to cover other additional levels at the basic level and the second cycle level as well. So before we go into our interactions with Mr. Thomas Awiapo at the premises of the St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School in Wiaga, first let's take you through a brief of our journey from Navrongo through Sandema to Wiaga. Now, this was when we were approaching the Sandema Township, that is the capital of the Bulisa North Municipality. I must tell you that if you know that terrain of road very well, there are a bit of smooth areas on that stretch of road, just a few kilometers, and of course we experienced the dusty, rough portions of the road through to Wiaga. I must say, I was lucky enough to enjoy the company of the first 3 students of St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School as I was pointed at the school's direction. These 3 handsome young men, their children anyway, offered to lead me to the St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School, and in fact, I must say, I enjoyed their escort. So Mr. Thomas Awiapo, the proprietor of the St. Thomas Aquinas School located in Wiaga, conducted us first round the whole school, class by class, unit by unit. That is from the primary, we went to the JHS portion of it, we went to the crèche, as well as the kindergarten. That culminated in our location for an in-depth interview with Mr. Awiapo for him to educate us and viewers of Wedambu TV what motivated him to start the school, why the choice of Wiaga, and many other relevant things you will wish to know regarding the St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School located in Wiaga in the Bulisa North Municipality of the Upper East Region.
So this is the JHS block of the St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School in Wiaga. This classroom is the JHS 2. It is the highest. The seniors in the school, they are the pioneers of the school, and this is JHS 2. Okay. JHS 1 is there, okay. And then primary 6 is there. Okay. The whole of this block is actually the JHS block, but now that we don't have JHS 3, it's only next year we'll have JHS 3. So this will be used for JHS block of the school.
All right. So yeah. Can we have a look at one of the class sessions going on?
Sure.
Inside?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, we can enter each.
Okay. So, as I said, this is JHS 2, the highest class, the pioneers of the school. And currently, they are doing mathematics. This is the head teacher of the school, and at the same time, the maths teacher. we have subject teachers here. So he's currently teaching mathematics. And the class is about 16 of them. There are even more girls than boys, I can see, right? No. Are you the same? Yes. Oh, what a deal. Girls and boys the same. Good, good. So these are our pioneers of St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School, and currently having their maths class. Yes.
All right.
So we are coming into JHS 1. They are the second oldest of St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School, Wiaga. Currently, they are teaching. He's a science teacher, teaching a topic on digestion in humans. And how many are you? 19. Yeah. So the class is made of 19 students. How many girls?
8.
Only 8?
Yes.
Oh. So 8 girls and what? 12
Boys.
12 boys, right?
Yes.
So these are the beautiful students of JHS 1 in St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School in Wiaga. So this is primary 6 of St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School, Wiaga, and currently teaching RME. Are you happy this morning?
Yes.
How many boys? 19 boys. Yes. And how many girls?
6.
Oh. Oh, you have to tell more girls to come, right? There has to be a balance, right? So this is and this is the RME teacher. He also teaches English, right? Yes. So RME teacher, we have subject teachers here, and this is currently doing RME. So, do you love RME?
Yes.
You love it?
Yes.
I loved it too. That's what I used to teach. When I was in Notre Dame, I used to teach RME, and then history and social skills. So, I love it, and I'm glad that you like it and you are learning it hard. So you learn hard, right?
Yes.
You are doing well. Great. Thank you very much. Yeah. So this is the primary block of St. Thomas Aquinas Prep School, Wiaga. It was actually the first block that was built to start the school. Okay. So we call it our mother house here.
Okay.
And so
is it a full complement of the primary from 1 to 6?
From 1 to 6. Okay. For now, there are some of the classes that are divided, so A and B. Okay. So we have, that's why we have primary 6 here.
At the other end.
But the rest of the primaries, the lower classes, P5 to 1, are all housed here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is the playground of St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School.
Now, Mr. Awiapo did not miss the chance or opportunity to acknowledge and praise some individuals, friends, and associates from within Ghana and outside, notably in Germany and in the United States of America, who have contributed immensely to the infrastructure of the school and to their assistance in running the school.
Many people have contributed to locally and internationally to support the school. And they realized that the children who were only 17 have grown, have become so many. And there was shortage of play equipment, playground equipment. So this was actually a donation from a family, the Atibil family. And they actually made all these things, shipped them from Accra and brought them to help them. Because you know, all work without play makes Jack a dull boy. And so this playground equipment has really helped. And I know that when they are on recreation, you really love to see how the children really enjoy their recreational time using this playground equipment. Definitely they are still not enough. When you are talking about 450 to 500 children and 40% of them very little kids and all that. So we are still short of all this. We're still looking for more. and to make sure all the children enjoy their time during recreation. Even though most of the children create their own play system, they have ways to entertain themselves and recreate themselves, but at least we need more of this so that to ensure that all the little ones can jump around, build their bodies, burn out energy, so that when they go home they can have a good night's sleep. Yes. And you see there, that is the plaque that the person, this is in memory of a young boy called Apolkawin, who passed away very, very tragically. And the parents decided that they wanted to do something in memory of him. And so they donated this, and that's the plaque in memory, in honor of Apolkawin, who passed away very tragically some time ago. Yeah. And we are grateful to the family of the Atibils for this playground that is very, very helpful and supportive to the school. So right there is our water system. It's a borehole drilled purposely for the school. A lot of water in there, and that has been mechanized here for the use of the children and for the purposes of keeping the school. You know, a school without water is a problem. And so we are really grateful for this water system, mechanized for the purpose. So we have no problem with water, clean water. And then we have all the filters so that the children can actually have clean water to drink while they are in school. So that's our water system. Also donated by our friends from locally and both outside. Here we stand by a plaque in memory of Diane Reardon. She and the husband, the Reardon families, are my great friends in the US. Unfortunately, Mrs. Reardon passed away also. And when she died, her family said whatever donations that are made in memory of their mother and wife will come to this school. So they gave us all the donations made during her funeral. And we used that to build this crèche, nursery crèche, all here. KG is all housed here in memory of her. So this was commissioned in loving memory of Diane Reardon, in memory for all that they've done for our school. And so this is just 1 year old. We just started using it. It's so helpful because it keeps the little ones, all the children housed here are like under 6 years old. And they make maybe 40% of the population of this school. And most of them are children, the nurses, the hospital workers, and all that. So this is really helpful. The little ones, they like to play, they like to cry, they like to laugh, they like to run around, make a lot of noise, sleep. So this gives them some private place so that they can have their own playground, sleeping rooms, crying, whatever, so that they are themselves growing up. So it's a beautiful support to have this place for the school and the children here. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Are you not going to class? Let's go to class. Let's go. You want to? Yeah. Okay. Do it. Yes. Yes. And then yes. Okay. Nakami. Yes. Yes. Let's go. Yes. Let's go to class. Let's go inside. Let's go. Yeah. Yes, how are you? Yes, how are you? Will you sing a song for me? Sing it out here. Sing. What song will you sing? And a very small wings. And a very small wings.
Let's look in the face.
This block is the crèche, nursery, and KG. It houses the crèche, the nursery, and KG and nursery. And so where we are is crèche and nursery together. So all the children here are like 2 years, some are 2 years, and a little above 2 years, and some are even under 2 years actually. And this is their mother that takes their grandma and mother and teacher and mother that takes so much good care of them. Are you happy? Yes. Are you happy?
Yes.
Now, on all our rounds, I must state that the whole school was in session. All the classes we visited had one lesson or the other going on, from the JHS to the primary through to the kindergarten. And of course, at the kindergarten portion of the school, we chanced on this class that was undertaking music lessons, and these were the scenes in that class. And right there, during the musical lessons class and the exhibition of this student to myself and Mr. Awiapo to watch, one of the students challenged his colleague and said he could drum better than him.
Say that again. You can drum more than him, man.
So you want to try?
Do you want to try?
Let him try.
Okay, Maxwell, come and give it a try.
We'll see how.
And of course, he was tested to that challenge and he didn't disappoint at all. He had some good rhythms. Take a look.
How much better you can drum? Now let's dance. We'll dance.
And now, let's zoom into our one-on-one chat with Mr. Awiapo regarding all that led to the establishment of the St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School in Wiaga, what numbers of students the school has, and other related matters. Okay, so kindly introduce yourself to us and your portfolio with St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory.
My name is Thomas Awiapo from Wiaga here. Sometimes they call me Abaruk. Abaruk is actually my nickname and is the most popular right now. So Thomas Awiapo Abaruk from Wiaga right here.
Okay. Sir, please tell me, who owns St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory? Who is the proprietor?
I am the proprietor of this school, of St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory School. Yeah.
All right. So kindly share with me, how did the idea of establishing this school come about? Did your children, for instance, influence you, or maybe your wife did?
I think it's a long story, but let me make it short. I was born to parents who really never went to school. And myself, going to school was not something on my agenda. My parents would never even have allowed me to go to school. They would have preferred that I take care of the animals at home. They didn't see any benefit in school. But and plus that, I was an orphan boy struggling around. And the reason why I went to school because I was a hungry child roaming around looking for food. And the missionaries here, they had a Catholic school where Catholic Relief Services was providing a lunch for any child who came to school. I actually went to the school looking for the food and not the school. But the unfortunate thing was that they don't give you the food until you sit in class and you learn. So I kept going to the school just for the food, but as they would force you to sit in class and learn before they gave you the food, I kept going every day. And let me be honest with you, certain times when I go to school and they were not preparing that food, I will run away, I will escape and go home. But as long as they kept preparing that food, I was always punctual in school, learning and eating the food. And today I am here Some missionaries also helped me, sent me to Notre Dame, and I finished Notre Dame, went ahead to do a master's in public administration. My life story is no longer the same. A poor child, a hungry child, but because I went to school, today my story is no longer the same. I have worked so many years for CRS and all that, and I've been blessed with friends from the US and friends from home, and blessed with whatever resources I have made with my work. And so I decided that since I rose from grass to grace because people helped me, missionaries tricked me with little food to go to school, and other people also helped me. I just felt that it is important to give back to your community. And what is more important than education if you are trying to give back to your school? So the motivation for starting this school is actually to give back to my community, to pay it forward. Because I received freely from the community, from the missionaries, from other people, free. And so freely, it is now my turn to pay it forward and to give it back to the community. And so that was one of the many motivations, but that was the main motivation for actually starting a school in Wiaga.
Okay, sir, I understand getting land for projects like this sometimes becomes a difficulty for people who are willing to execute same. Tell me, how difficult or how easy was it for you getting this piece of land for the establishment of St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory?
Well, I agree with you so much that it is so difficult to acquire land for projects like this, especially these days that everybody's thinking about money and benefits and all that. It's so hard to acquire land for projects. But in my case, this is all family land. I didn't have to go to anybody to look for it. I had to just use it, and with all my family members, we all are in support of it because education is so important, and the use of this land is for the community, is to support the community, is to help the community. So that's how the land is. But it's all measured, and all the official things, documentation for land has been done, and it's strictly for the school,
So tell me, I can see the school is spread over a large land area. Are you able to tell me what quantity of land the school is situated on?
I don't have the specification.
Yeah, roughly.
But I know that this is about 5, 6, 7 acres.
Okay.
It's about 5 acres of land, 6 acres of land.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me, when did the construction of the block end, and when exactly academic work formally started?
So the construction started maybe 2 years, 2015, 2016. But 2017 September, we were able to complete the building of this first block.
The one right behind you.
One right behind me, 2016. And the first academic work started here 2017 September. 2017 September. Yeah, with just 17 students. And
that's the number of your pioneer students.
Yes. 17 students and 4 teachers.
Yeah. All right. That's a long time. I wanted to ask if you still remember the number of girls and boys you started with. But
I wouldn't remember exactly.
That's a long time.
I just remember that there were 17 students.
To start with.
2017.
All right. Yeah. So, what grades are you currently running? Is it from crèche to what grade or what level?
So we have, as you saw, the 3 structures. One of the blocks houses crèche and nursery, KG and nursery. And then so we have crèche, we have nursery 1, nursery 2, and then we have KG 1 and 2, and then nursery 1 and 2, and then we have primary 1 to 6, and then we have JHS 1 and 2. 1 and 2, JHS 2 is actually our pioneer. They are our pioneers, and it's the highest grade or class in the school.
Let me also ask this one. So what's the age range of your students you admit here?
Well, from under 2 years to 12 years, 13 years. So like those who are in JHS2, most of them are 11, 12, and 13.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are also children in the crèche that are like 18 months, 20 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
You told me something relating to this earlier, but let me specifically ask you. Of all the other business ventures, opportunities you could have pumped your money and time into, like hotels, fuel station, why education? What is the rationale, the motivator?
From my personal experience, I consider education as liberation for people. For me, as I mentioned earlier, I have never been, my parents have never been to school. I never intended to go to school. Going to school was not something on my agenda. But once I was tricked with food by Catholic Relief Services, the missionaries, to go to school, and today, holding a master's in public administration, it has changed the story of my life. From a hungry, miserable, poor orphan child, today I work for Catholic Relief Services for over 20 years. I've traveled around the world doing a lot of work for the church and Catholic Relief Services. And now I have 4 children who actually love school, are in school, and are doing very well. I have 4 children, I have a family. The children don't even know what it means to be hungry. And what has changed all that? I think it is education. And I believe that education has the power to break the chains of poverty, to break the chains of suffering, to break the chains of injustice in our world. I think there's nothing greater to give to your child more than education. So for me, I chose to do education because I think and I'm convinced that education is liberation. All right.
So I know you mentioned friends, family, and all of that in the mix of things.
Yeah.
Have you at a point had friends and family trying to discourage you from citing the school in a place like Wiaga, telling you that, oh, Mr. Awiapo, you should have put this school in Bolga, in Navrongo, or bigger cities like Tamale, where there seem to be comparatively a ready market for you? Why Wiaga for this project?
Why that was one of the biggest challenges in citing this school. You know, I stayed in Tamale and worked in Tamale for over 20 years, and all my children went to school in Tamale for the first time and all that. And I definitely knew how marketable and profitable education and schools, businesses were in Tamale. So when I had this idea of education, everybody, all my friends, my families, and other people were like, if you really want a business for school, there is no place better than Tamale. So most people told me to put the school in Tamale. And when they realized that I rejected that idea, they said, okay, at least Bolga. And I said, no, the school is not meant for Bolga. Then they said, at least Sandema, which is the municipal capital. And I said, no, I want, Wiaga is a little village. And I think that I was born and raised in Wiaga, and I think Wiaga deserves better than what it is. And I wanted, the spirit that moved me and all the motivation is to give back to my little village. My little village deserves better than what it is now. So I wanted to also contribute my little quota to the improvement of at least basic education in my village. Sandema has enough schools. Navronga has more than enough schools. Bolga has more than enough schools. My motivation was not about profitability. It was about impacting knowledge and changing the lives of children in this community.
In the most needy areas.
In the most needy areas. So it was not about money. If it were about money, definitely the school wouldn't be here. But it was about my community and improving education, contributing my quota to the education of the children in this community.
Okay, sir, please tell me, what facilities are contained in this beautiful school that makes children want to choose to study here other than other places, and that pushes parents to bring their awards to St. Thomas Aquinas?
Well, the main, you talk about facilities, but before I say anything about the facilities, let me talk about just the results that parents get from sending their children here. The results are just right away, very quick, and I mean, you know, as a campus, you realize that we have free space. The land is big. The children can play around.
Enough playground.
Notice
you have a volleyball court.
A volleyball court, and there's a football right behind the football park with all the nets and everything, volleyball nets. We have the playground equipment here, though not enough, but that's at least something to start with, and the children love that. And you know, we have spacious classrooms, and we don't overload the classrooms.
Okay.
We have just the right number, average of sometimes 25.
Okay.
Maximum.
So the teachers are not overburdened.
Okay. So we have a lot of classroom spaces, a lot of furniture, and children very convenient, conducive in class to study. A lot of the children. There was a time we got bicycles for some of the children who come from very far distances. We had friends who actually supported and helped me to buy bicycles for the children who come from very far. There are some of them who ride for almost 5 miles to come and go back. So we have to identify those and get those things. We have buses, and I mean, there's a lot, and there's a lot of good teaching going on here. And you bring your child, you see the results, and that is it. For instance, when we started this school, then people ask that we should go to the radio, we should go to radio and advertise, and I said no. For me, let the school sell itself. Let the students, the teachers,
the school itself will be the pull factor.
Exactly, and that's what has happened. We are actually right now we are full. We don't have space.
Wow.
We are looking for more space. We don't have space actually, just because of that.
And I see the beautiful playground has a lot for the kids to play with.
Yeah.
All right.
That was, you know, as we talked, we have received support from local, and international, and foreign, and all that. But that's one of the local donations from a family, the family of Atibil, and the children really love it.
All right.
Yeah.
So when do you open admissions, and do you also take in transfer students, like students coming from other schools who wish to transfer and come and study here?
We generally, for the lower classes, normally we encourage people to start enrolling at the beginning of the academic year. We don't actually like taking children in between.
Okay, midway.
But especially, with an exception of the crèche and the nursery, because of the hospital and the other teachers being transferred here and transferred out. Maybe a parent comes in and they need to bring the child along. And as for the lower classes, we have no problem accepting the child at any point in time. But for the higher classes, we don't accept transfer students from JHS 2 and JHS 1 and 2 now. But we want to groom our own children and see the results at the end.
You want to be the foundation going up.
So, but from the primary, we start accepting transfers. Children come in September, the beginning of the academic year, but not so for the JHS 1 and 2. But we normally like to groom our own children to get to the end and see the results.
Tell us, how affordable is education at St. Thomas Aquinas Preparatory? Are your clients, i.e. the parents, able to pay the fees and other payments that are required for their children to study here?
Well, finance.
People have this perception of private schools. It's expensive and all of that.
It's expensive. But you see, the mission and the motive of this school was not about making money. It was about to improve the quality of the education, contribute to the education of my own children, my own whatever community and all that. So the main motivation is not about money. So when we started 17 students with 5 teachers, it was hard, but we are pumping our own resources to make sure it grew up. Now that it has grown, I think, money will always be an issue. Even if you tell somebody to pay 1 cedi to come to the school, there are some people who still have difficulty in doing it. But for now, since we started the school, the payment has been, the school fees per term has been 200. For 5 years. For 5 years, that has been 200.
Your budget hasn't risen.
Then the last 2 years, we raised it to 250.
But definitely there will be costs you have to meet. So.
Cost, a lot of costs with all the inflations and things going up. Things have become more difficult for us. But I have to also acknowledge that we have received a lot of financial support from my friends in the US that has augmented some of our infrastructure. You know, if you have to rely on only, and then the means of transport, they helped us to buy a bus.
Yeah, the school bus. I saw it driving.
School bus, and then we have can-dos and the mama can-dos and motor kings
that augment the transport
that are customized, because there are places buses cannot go.
Yeah,
and then the villages are many, because this school actually takes in from Sandema, Kadema, Bedema, Sinensi. So even though it's Wiaga, there are
the adjoining communities.
Adjoining communities who come here every day bringing their children.
Okay.
So we have stationed motor kings,
advantage points
in those communities, and they actually run them.
Okay.
To bring their children to school.
Okay.
So because it's always we struggle, but it's for a good reason. You know, this is a farming community.
Yeah.
Subsistence farming.
Yeah. You can't expect so much.
So much. So we have to see how we balance the idea of supporting your community, giving back to your community, and
sustaining the venture itself.
Sustaining the venture.
Okay.
So that's the delicate balance that we struggle every day. But we are making a headway.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the staff strength of St. Thomas Aquinas? What are the number of teachers and maybe other assistive staff that are working here?
I think we have 15 teaching staff and 5 non-teaching staff. That includes those who take care of the little ones and babysitting and crèche teachers and all that. But in all, we will have about 20 staff, both teaching and non-teaching in the school here.
All right.
Yeah.
So educate me, how does the school reach out to clients? How does it reach out to the public and parents to let them bring their awards here? Do you go on radio to advertise, or how do you go about it?
Actually, this is our first media interview. When we started the school, I mean, everybody was like, wow, this is a great school. Let's advertise it. Let's go on radio, on TV and all that. And I said, listen, let the school and the performance of the school sell itself out, advertise itself. Let the students, the teachers, and our work sell us. And so we have never gone on radio or TV to advertise. But just the results of the school, you send your child to school, you can see immediately after a month or two, you see the difference, the change, and they then sell you out. And that's how we have risen from 17 students to 400.
Full capacity now.
Full capacity. We don't even have space any longer. Yeah.
Okay. Kindly share with our viewers of Word and Boot TV. What activities has your school been taking part in this part of the Upper East region? For instance, do you take part in the annual Independence Day celebration and other extracurricular activities, if you can share with me?
Definitely, it's a Catholic school, but we are within a country, and a country with educational strategy and policy. So we are citizens, we are part of the country, and it's part of training the children to be part of good citizens. So we ensure that the school participates in every national activity, like Independence Day, the March Past, they go for that. And then when the schools have inter-schools, they participate. They just ended one last term. Even though we don't do very well in sport, but we participate and we enjoy it a lot. And we invite other schools to play matches and quizzes with us. And so we do a lot with Ghana Education Service and with government educational activities and all that. We have to be involved. It's also part of learning and bonding with other students, other schools, and learning new things. Yeah.
As a proprietor, I know you have been taking the marks. I'm asking, how is your school faring academically? You have been taking terminal reports. You have been doing end of term exams. How is it going?
For me, I would say 10 out of 10, from 10 whatever, I will give my school 8, 9, thereabout, because I check all the reports, I read all the exam questions before they are administered. And I sit down and I go through every report before it goes out. And so I'm well versed with how most generally the students are performing.
Okay.
And I would say they are doing very well, and precisely why many parents think that their children should be here. Ironically, ironically how you have all the public school teachers, all their children are here. They bring their children here,
Okay.
and then they go to school and all that. So it tells you, and
There's something special about
there's
this
something
school.
special about school, and it's not just about academic and all that. There's this statement they say, you don't form, you cannot be an intellectual giant and a moral dwarf. So we try to blend the two, balance the two.
Yeah.
You teach children to be full good citizens, academically, morally, value-wise, and everything.
Okay.
So I think it's a school that really tries to train academic giants, moral giants, value giants, holistic education.
Okay.
That encompasses every aspect of the human being.
Okay.
To groom them to be good citizens,
All right.
worthy citizens.
Okay.
So that's something that attracts people, and plus the academic as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Awiapo, tell me, how does the future look like for St. Thomas Aquinas? Are we to see expansion in structure, for instance? Are we to see addition of other levels of education, like the fully fledged junior high school, and maybe an upgrade to senior high in the near future?
Definitely, we have a strategic plan to grow. You cannot start something and remain and just maintain the status quo. You need to expand and grow. For instance, as we stand, we don't have enough classrooms. We don't have enough space. Because we started with 17, now we are going to 500. There's no space. If we could do A and B, A, B, and C, we would have done it. So we have big plans to expand infrastructure, more classrooms, administrative block, recreational centers, some other bigger plans. We intend to wall this place and make it more secure, and have all those things. But at the end of the day, it's all about resources. So you cut your coat according to your size and go step by step.
Okay.
Because here we don't really get a lot of income. We don't really get a lot of income. So we have the big plans to grow infrastructure-wise, quality-wise, everything.
Okay.
But with the limited resources, we are cutting our costs according to our size.
In the time.
So we just try to do things at a time. When we get the money, we implement. You can see blocks.
Yeah,
Made,
pile of them.
We make the blocks and all that, but we just had them come to paint the school, renovate the school, but we have plans to do other things, but with limited resources. We are going step by step.
All right.
Yeah.
Sir, your concluding words to the public and to viewers of Wedambu TV. Meanwhile, you can feel free to add any other relevant information that my questions may not have touched on.
Thank you for that. Very important. All I just wanted to say is that as people belonging to villages and communities that have given birth to us and raised us and made us who we are, I think it is important for each one of us to always find your talent, find the gifts God has given you and nature has given you, to see how you can give back to your community. I mean, I just think that is just the way we should go. I mean, God blesses us so that we can bless others. And normally, it's wherever we are, don't forget your roots. Try to support them. Try to find what God, you know how he said 5 loaves and 5 fishes. But then Jesus was able to multiply that to feed thousands and thousands. So, and I know that everybody has been gifted in one way or the other, be it monetary, be it talent, ideology, strategy, all that. We are all expected to put that. Those 5 loaves, I would consider that that's your 5 loaves and 5 fishes. Let's all put it together. God will bless them and multiply them and help our communities to grow. And particularly to private schools, let's also remember that it should not always just be about the money. It should be more, how do you make an impact, leave a legacy, and help your people. So we should also think about social responsibilities. How do we draw children who cannot afford to be in these schools and support them in a way so that they can uplift their families in the future. So that it should not just be all about the money, because money is not the end of the world.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, I said the last words, I mean your concluding words, but this just came to mind.
Yeah.
What are your words of encouragement, motivation for your teaching staff and the neighboring community of St. Thomas?
Normally I've been a teacher. I'm a professional teacher. I was teaching in Notre Dame.
And viewers, let me just add that the person talking to us is actually my government master in Notre Dame way back 1998, and here we are today.
That it makes me, I'm like the oldest person.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for me, I've been a teacher before. I'm a professional teacher, and up till now, you know, the joy of meeting a student. And let me tell you, I was in a bank one day. I don't typically like going to commercial banks. It's so crowded. I get there, and who did I meet? It's like the manager was an old student that I taught in Notre Dame. It's like, come here. What do you want? I'm like, wow. And then sometimes you meet somebody and like, oh. So as for the teacher, you always be rewarded.
Yeah.
You may not have all the money here, but it's priceless when you teach a child and one day you see that child.
That satisfaction that you created this human resource.
That is priceless. So I tell my teachers, don't always look at the salaries as the only. There are bigger things, the priceless things. The priceless thing of watching a child grow into somebody very responsible in society, a worthy citizen, contributing his quota to. Then you can sit and say, yes, I did it. And thank God, because you would have played that good role as a teacher. So that's what I use as a source to tell my teachers, don't look at just the instant gratification of salary alone. Think about the joy, the fulfillment of watching a child that you taught becoming somebody in life and contributing his quota or her quota to the community and to the country as well. And I think that's, and my teachers, I will commend them. They are doing very well here. They are here very early and they close, and there's no play around here. They are always doing what they're supposed to be doing at the right time, at the right place, and I really commend them and I thank them. I wish I could pay them even more than government. I wish I could compete with them, with government in terms of remuneration, but as we stand in a village context, it is sometimes difficult. But we are trying our best. But thankfully, the teachers are not all about the money.
They are committed.
They're about, most of them are indigenous from here. So they know that they are teaching their younger brothers, their children, to become better someday and improve this community. So I think that's a big motivation for my teachers, and I thank them for that, and I will congratulate them for the hard work they do.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
And of course, I cannot end without calling on you, appealing to you to subscribe to our channel Wedambu TV right here on YouTube. Hit the bell button so that whenever we post our next broadcast, you will be among the first to see it. Peace.